Thank you for joining me today. We're going to take a look at the Meteor Press Roles Editor. I will log in real quickly here, and then we will get to work on setting up a couple roles, which, there we go. Basically, we can take a quick look at an existing role to demonstrate. We'll look at the page editor, and as you can see, each role has a name and a description and tracks who it was last modified by. And then each is represented by a table containing a list of system features to which a role may or may not provide access. And then each feature can have items essentially created by oneself or by others. So if you are in a role which, like this one, has read access to self, then anything that you've created yourself, you'll be having access to view. And if it has the create permission, then that means that you can create something authored by yourself, such as a blog post or a page. And if you have edit permissions, then you can edit said item, and if you have remove permissions, you can remove it. Now the same goes for these over here, the primary difference being that this goes for others. So this means you can view other people's posts, you can add posts authored by other people, pages, since we're on the page editor, which may seem unusual, but there are certain edge circumstances where things like that may be needed, and therefore you can utilize that. Now this may or may not be used very much, but operating on the basic ontology of how we've set up and configured the system, a page administrator or editor is basically going to be allowed to do anything, anytime, with any page, and therefore they can also edit and remove pages by others. So this would allow a page editor to go in and fix a typo, say that someone else's page creation has a typo in it, and this page editor goes in and it can edit that page. It could even add another author to that page if, say, it was a co-authored article and the person who originally put it in did not have permissions to create articles by other people, and the other author had not edited the page themselves, then being able to have the this permission right there would now allow the page editor to add authors to a page that are not himself. Now another person who may have a lower access level of page editing abilities may be able to say edit pages but not create pages in others' names. So that page editor would be able to fix typos but not reassign attribution values of the article. And this is a very powerful and flexible feature, as you can see. However, it's also extremely complex and currently undocumented. It is going to be a little while before documentation of this is full and complete, because the integration of all of these different permissions is still something that is being filled out or fledged out in the source code. For instance, the theme engine is not even written yet. However, a theme editor should be able to control all of those things, and what we will do right now is create a web editor or a webmaster. We're going to call this person the we'll make a webmaster role, and this would not be an administrator role. An administrator would say have full access to the system. However, this enables full control over system related items, but no control over content. So this person can, I don't know, I might change my mind about it later, which is a good thing about being able to edit all of these little guys down here, which I'll show you editing in a moment. We're going to go ahead and create a new role. You can see that this is now enabled once I've filled in a name and description. Now I'm going to go ahead and toggle on some things. We'll give the webmaster and for instance the configuration, a self-created configuration item may actually turn out to be the user control panel or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely others and self could possibly have created the configuration of the system, which would be found up here in your little dashboard up there. So we're going to go ahead and move on and say that this person should also have control over plugins, etc. Now, this role could be assigned to a particular user. We'll call him Web Guy. And Web Guy has the webmaster role, but no page editor role and no post editor role. And we don't really, we're going to just keep the webmaster fairly limited and targeted in scope. Now if we want to add another thing like the ability for this webmaster to, or web guy I should say, to edit pages, we just simply assign him the page editor role as well, and this enables us to have a very granular and fine level of control over how access is presented to various aspects of the system, whether it be creating, editing, manipulating, modifying, removing, hard removing, soft removing, whatever, things in a very granular way, such as, you know, if a person's, well, we're just going to go on and move ahead with some more examples. It's a little easier than making them up. Should this person have control over themes? You know, maybe. We're going to assume the webmaster, maybe we'll call him, actually, web guy. Web person, sorry, and we'll call the web person, whereas a webmaster might have actually a lot more access here. It might be actually very close to the administrator, but maybe one level down as far as editing of users goes or something like that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add this role, and now you can see we have still a couple bugs in here because that should have gone back to a muted, but that's okay. So we're going to look at the web person. You can see it has all the different properties we've assigned, and now I'm going to warn you that you might not want to mess with this little guy. Still having some animation or jQuery animation UI issues there, I think, but that's okay. So now we are editing, and let's say we want this person to also be able to edit roles and users so that he can, actually we probably don't want him to be able to do some of these things. Probably just want him to be able to view roles. Users, maybe we want him to view and edit, and there we go. That way he can do some basic user administration, maybe not edit them, but he'll still be able to remove them, ban them, yeah, probably hit the reset password button, create other users in a pinch, sure, and view other users definitely. So we'll also check out, we want him to be able to view and understand roles, but since it's just the web person, not the webmaster, maybe they aren't really sophisticated enough to understand how this puppy works because it's complex. We're also going to enable them to, we probably don't want them to remove configurations or really edit them or create them, but they can view them. Go right ahead. And that should be good. We're going to go ahead and save it. Check it just for now. You can see these different roles. Permissions have been signed, and that's actually a fairly complex role if you think about it, especially if you combine that person who's assigned this web person with a post editor and maybe a designer. If we take a look at the designer role, yeah, I've been working on the jQuery. That thing keeps popping up. There's absolutely, anyways, bugs. We'll look at the page editor, and designer has maybe no role associated with it. Curious. Here's the page editor, post editor. So let's just put in another designer and see what happens. Designer. Let's just go ahead and hit refresh and go that route. A little refresh always helps. And pop this out and watch my console and see what happens with that. Page editor, right there. Designer, there he is. Alright, the designer has control over themes, should probably be able to see the configuration and things of that nature. I've actually been debugging the update feature, so that's probably why we ran into those bugs right there. That's a pretty good look at the role editor. Probably already blew your mind and impressed you with a couple of my super awesome bugs. So thank you very much for joining us today, and I hope you have a great day and are looking forward to Meteor Press